August 15th, 2018. A man sits alone in a police interrogation room. Just hours ago, he stood in front of TV cameras begging for his pregnant wife and two little daughters to come home safely. But the detectives, watching from behind the glass, already knew something was terribly wrong. His body language didn't match his words. His story didn't match the evidence. And a neighbor's doorbell camera had captured everything. This is the interrogation that exposed one of the most chilling family murders in American history. To the outside world, the Watts family was picture perfect. Chris and Shanann Watts lived in a beautiful home in Frederick, Colorado, a quiet suburb about 30 miles north of Denver. Shanann was 34 years old, a driven, outgoing woman who sold health products through social media. She regularly posted about her life, her marriage, her children, her daily routine. Everything seemed normal. Their daughter, Bella, was 4 years old. Celeste, everyone called her Cece, had just turned 3. And Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant with their third child, a boy they had already named Nico. But behind the perfect social media facade, the marriage was falling apart. In the summer of 2018, Chris had begun an affair with a co-worker named Nicole Kessinger. Friends noticed Chris had become cold and distant. In text messages, Shanann told friends she feared her marriage was over. She had even written to Chris, "I don't know who you are anymore." On August 12th, Shanann flew home from a business trip in Arizona. Her friend, Nicolette Atkinson, dropped her off at 1:48 a.m. on August 13th. That was the last time anyone saw Shanann, Bella, or Celeste alive. The next morning, Shanann missed a doctor's appointment. She stopped responding to texts. Her friend Nicole, growing increasingly worried, drove to the house and called the police. When officers arrived, Chris Watts was already there, and from the very first moment, his behavior raised red flags.
We'll have you sign a consent form. We'll search your house. We'll wait for our sergeant to get here. But we'll grab that. You don't plan on going anywhere, right?
No, I was just gonna walk around the neighborhood just to...
On the counter right here.
Okay. So when you guys come home, do you usually use the front door or the garage door? How do you guys?
I usually open the garage door, come in.
Okay.
She uses front or garage, it kind of depends.
Okay. Is that a ring out there?
Oh, that was...
No, the doorbell, is that a ring?
Yeah,
doorbell?
like when you got a visitor, it does, but I don't think the speaker is on to where you hear it, like by...
Okay. I guess my question for you is, what did it show her leaving with the kids? Did you have any alerts?
If she came out here, yes. Like if...
Did you have any alerts today with that?
Just when her friends were here.
Does it only record when the doorbell rings, or anytime someone?
If you're like right here, it should just start, the proximity should hit up.
Okay, and if you had anything on that today?
Just her friends.
And what time was that?
12:10, and about 2 minutes afternoon.
Okay. But nothing between the time when she got here?
No, like she got here at 2. Only thing
this morning?
Yeah, 2 o'clock this morning. So
Okay.
1:48 on here. And the only thing that was weird was that the garage door said it was left open after I left. And it might have been the sensor, but like my phone doesn't show when
For your alarm?
Yeah, it doesn't show if it shuts.
And who's your alarm through?
Vivid.
Okay.
But Nikki, her friend that came here about 12:10, she said the garage door shut when she got here.
Okay.
That was the only thing that was weird.
Yeah. Were you going to hang out there, or you want to come in here?
I'll start here.
Okay.
Chris Watts, WATTS.
Before police even began a formal investigation, a local news crew arrived at the Watts home, and Chris did something no lawyer would ever advise. He agreed to a live TV interview.
They can get see where they went. They went on foot, they went in a car, they went somewhere. Chris Watts, WATTS.
What's going on right now around your house?
Right now you got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent, see where they went. If they went on foot, they went in a car, they went somewhere. And right now it's just like they've been on point. They're going through the house trying to get a scent, and hopefully they can pick something up to where it's going to lead to something.
What happened?
She came home from the airport at 2 a.m. and I left around 5:15. She was still here, and like about 12:10 in that afternoon, her friend Nicole showed up at the door. Like I had texted Shanann a few times that day, called her, say, but she never got back to me. But she wasn't getting back to any of her people as well, and that's what really concerned a lot of people. Is like she's not getting back to her. Like if she doesn't get back to me, that's fine. Like she gets busy during the day, but she didn't get back to her people, which was very concerning. And Nicole called me when she was at the door, and that's when I came home. And then walked in the house, and nothing was vanished. Nothing was here. I mean, she wasn't here. The kids weren't here. Nobody was here.
What's your wife's name?
Shanann, S-H-A-N-A-N-N. Bella and Celeste.
Celeste.
C-E-L-E-S-T-E.
How old are your daughters?
4, Bella's 4, Celeste is 3.
And so, how many times did you try calling her?
I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, what's going on? Like because after I called her and texted her once, it's like maybe she was just busy. Like she had just gotten back. Like everybody's probably calling her from her trip. She just got back from Arizona, and I figured she was just busy. But when her friend showed up, that's what it was like. It registered like, all right, this isn't right.
Do you think she just took off? Do you think?
I mean, right now I don't even want to just like throw anything out there. Like I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. But I mean, could she just taken off? I don't know. But if somebody has her and they're not safe, like I want them back now. Like that's what's in my head. Like if they're safe right now, they're gonna come back. But if they're not safe right now, that's the not knowing part. Like if they're not safe, last night I had every light in the house on. I was hoping that I would just ran over by the kids running in the door and just like barrel rushing me, but it didn't happen. And it was just a traumatic night trying to be here.
And here's the most telling detail. A man whose pregnant wife and 2 toddlers are missing. And he's not crying. His voice doesn't crack. His emotion is completely flat. Let's break this down. Watch his body language carefully. Notice how Chris is constantly swaying back and forth. Body language experts identify this as a flight response. His body is subconsciously trying to leave the threatening situation. But it was Chris's neighbor who would become the unlikely hero of this investigation.
What's that?
Lay down. Load my stuff up, my coolers, my water jugs, my book bag, my computers.
Nate Trinastic lived next door to the Watts family. He had a Vivint security camera that faced his front porch, but its wide-angle lens also captured the Watts driveway.
My detective just showed up, so he'll probably want to talk to you. He'd probably, like I said, he might have you call like the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Because if there was any sort of action out there,
His camera's
I would have got it.
Like
Right.
we had issues the other week when people were stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that, and I had parked my truck
I
right
had
here.
to park right here.
Yeah, so someone
see if
I could
anything
see where someone tried to jimmy with a flathead screwdriver.
That camera captured something crucial. At 5:27 a.m. on August 13th, just hours after Shanann arrived home, Chris was recorded backing his work truck into the garage. He then spent several minutes loading items. More importantly, the camera showed that no one else left the house that morning. And when Chris watched this footage alongside officers, Nate noticed something chilling.
Nada.
No.
There's nothing. There's nothing. Walk them back forth, and if you look,
On August 15th, 2 days after the disappearance, Chris Watts was brought in for a formal interview with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. The lead investigator was CBI agent Tammy Lee. What makes this interrogation remarkable is the technique Agent Lee used. She didn't attack, she didn't accuse. Instead, she used a method known as the read technique, building rapport, asking open-ended questions and letting Chris tell his story, so she could later use his own words against him.
Thing that people go through. A lot of people, like obviously in law enforcement and places like that, they have to go through polygraphs for their job, but other than that, most people never take a polygraph in their entire life, so.
Yes, I have like no idea like what to expect, honestly.
Yeah, so how are you feeling today?
Sick to my stomach, honestly. Like the first.
But watch carefully. Every time Agent Lee asks a question about a specific detail, a time, a location, Chris's behavior changes. When discussing general topics, he's relaxed, maintains eye contact. But when asked specific questions about the morning of August 13th, he breaks eye contact, shifts his position, touches his face. These are comfort-seeking behaviors indicating deception. Then comes the moment that will change everything. Agent Lee asks Chris if he's willing to take a polygraph test, a lie detector. And in a move that no guilty person's lawyer would ever allow, Chris says yes.
Oh my gosh, I did forget part of it, didn't I? So I brought Graham in here because we want to talk to you about the results, okay? So it is completely clear that you were not honest during the testing, and I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened. And I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
Chris,
I know.
stop. It's time. Just stop for a minute. Take a deep breath.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I could tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this. And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today, and you knew I was going to find out because I told you that, and then you continued to stay knowing that you could at the end say, you know what, I just need to get this off my chest. I just need to tell you what happened. So can you start from the beginning and tell us what happened?
Everything that I have told you, I did not lie on this polygraph. I don't know how much I could tell you right now. I did not.
It's not even an option right now because you did not pass the polygraph, so I know you were being deceptive. So that's not even an issue right now. The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. That's the issue right now. Okay, so let's talk about that. I know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face. Holding this lie in is going to do nothing for you.
I know this. Like,
okay.
I'm not trying to cover things up
Yeah, but you kind of are because it's normal. Normal people would do that. Normal people that make a mistake initially are going to go, I don't know what you're talking about, I didn't do anything. That's normal. I would expect that. It's just like if you ask your kid, did you write on the wall? And they go, no. And you're like, you have a marker on your hand. I know you just wrote on the wall. And they're like, oh. That's a natural reaction that someone's going to initially lie about something like that and then eventually tell the truth. So this is your eventually telling the truth time. This is where the rubber meets the road, Chris.
I want them back home,
But you know they're not coming back home. You know that.
I don't know in the back of my head. I hope they come back home.
But you know.
I hope they come back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know they're not coming back home.
Chris, Timmy and I are confused. Okay? And here's what we're confused about. I told you that we've done some work overnight.
Yeah.
I told you that we've got a lot of allegiance. It wasn't a lie. We know a lot more than you think we do. Okay? And here's what we're confused.
I didn't go to the Rocky game. I was with her.
Okay.
I went to dinner with her.
Keep going.
That 5 weeks I was alone, I was with her most of the time.
You're doing a good job. This is the Chris that I knew would come out today. This is the Chris who tells the truth.
Gosh, I didn't forget part of it, didn't I? So I brought Graham in here because we want to talk to you about the results. So, and it's completely clear that you were not honest during the testing, and I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
So now we need to talk about what actually happened. I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
It is completely clear that you were not honest. You did not pass the polygraph test. And watch Chris's reaction. His body freezes, eyes down, processing defeat. Shoulders drop, physical deflation. His confident dad facade is beginning to crack.
Cool. I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise. Chris, I know stuff.
There's a reason you feel sick to your stomach. And when people hold stuff inside, it makes you physically ill. And I can just tell on your face, I could tell from the second you walked in that you were wanting to just come clean and just be done with this. And I appreciate that because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today. And you knew I was going to find out because I told you that. And then you continued to stay knowing that you could, at the end, say, you know what? I just need to get this off my chest. I just need to tell you what happened. We're not here to play games. We're not here to do any of that with you. We just want to know what happened. So can you start from the beginning and tell us what?
Agent Lee tells Chris, I think you know where they are. She offers him what's called a moral minimization, a way for him to confess while still saving face. She's not saying you planned a murder. She's saying something happened. I understand. Help me understand.
Yeah. But you weren't here today lying about something else. So we need to talk about that, okay? About your daughter. I know. And she's very good. Keep that ice. I'm not proud of it. I don't think anything that can happen. I don't think I ever do it, but I did. I know. Keep going. And she accused me of it. I denied it. I she just and I was so horrible for it. She was pregnant, and I didn't hurt her. I cheated on her. I hurt her emotionally. I cheated on her, and I feel absolutely horrible about it. But that's what I've been told. I think that when I didn't go to the Rocky game, I was with her. I went to dinner with her. Yeah. Let's keep going. That fact reached out alone. I was with her most of the time.
Ken, you're doing a good job. This is the Chris that I knew would come out today. This is the Chris who tells the truth.
Because you're a truth teller. When I tell you I fell in love, I fell in love with her. Absolutely. Okay. I mean, that's the line's true. And who is her? I don't want to get her involved in this. I don't want her in her life. It's like it's something like this. I don't want her involved in this. Okay. So can we talk about that a little bit? Yes. I knew that you would say you didn't want to get her involved. And I'm biased because she's a wonderful person. Like, I mean, she knew I was married, yes. That's why we're going through the issues, yes. And I told her that, we're going to get, at the end, like, you're going to get separated. Like, once I figured out what that was, I didn't know what that was going to be. I know. I had no idea. I was like, I saw her, took my breath away, and I'd never thought in a million years that could happen. I know. I was thinking my favorite things. But, like, I never felt that way about anybody in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. Chris, that's not your fault. No, I'm just. Like, can we do this? I know you want to take care of her it's because you're the type of guy who takes care of women. It is. You took care of your wife, you took care of your daughters, you were very good at taking care of her, and you want to take care of her. So can we make a deal? I don't think this girl did anything to hurt anybody, but I can't walk out of here wondering. So, can we leave her out of it? Okay. Get back to your wife and your daughters. Okay. Where are they? That I do not know. That was what I was holding back. Like, I didn't know, what I did. I know, Chris, in the interview today, you weren't asked about infidelity. You were asked about. I was holding back from last night. That's when you feel today.
That's not how that works. You would have reactions to every single question, not just the ones that we talked about being important.
Like the ones you wanted me to lie about, is that what you're talking about?
No, the ones about her disappearance and knowing where she's at and about seeing her last.
I was not lying about this thing. Can I tell you what I think? Yes. Okay. So, Going into that inner camp where we strapped you in, we knew all about Nikki.
And slowly the walls start to come down. For the first time, Chris admits he's been having an affair with a woman named Nicole Kessinger, but he still insists he has no idea where his family is. Then Agent Lee makes a brilliant tactical decision. She brings in Chris's father, Ronnie Watts, and leaves the two of them alone in the room.
Hey, Chris, we're lucky to have us. However much time you need. So, you know, he was in there? No. Yes. Where? Don't listen to long or and then it's polygraph. Well, yeah, because there's just too much emotions. It's not the reason why I shouldn't. They know I had an affair. They know. I can't think about that. Tell me what's going on. What I haven't or anything. One thing, but when we had that conversation and when it was emotional and horrible. What happened to them? I mean, I went downstairs and I want to protect her. What? I don't want to protect her. You don't want to protect her. I don't know what else to say. She hurt him. And what then? God, get out of her. Your girl. The daily you after them for a long time. She started. Yes. Well, good moment. Talking about separation and everything about, like, I don't know, like, what else to say. Like, I freaked out, doesn't it? So she decided that one time you were leaving this real world. And she freaked out over the separation of her. Like, she laid back down, but that's not downstairs, but. And then we went back upstairs and she was choking over it. She killed. She choked open the that. I freaked out in the same like, cops about it. So we wanted to do all the bodies off or something.
He tells his father that Shanann killed the girls and that he killed Shanann in a rage. It was a lie. He was still trying to control the narrative, still trying to make himself the victim, but for the first time, he admitted his wife was dead.
Can you tell us what you told your dad?
After that conversation we had, she accused me of the affair, and that seemed hard. She knew what was going on. And she knew about the day the other night. It was too much for just me. I went out to bed. I went downstairs and we told her about separation and all, and that was upstairs. But well, I wanted to call it separation.
Even in his confession, he couldn't tell the truth. He was still lying.
I saw the monitor. Those covers were like pulled off, and she was laying there, freaked out.
What happened? Where were you at?
I had no idea. I had no idea what to do. I was shaking with my kid, her blue, and gone. She was my kid. She back. She and I looked at her. And my kid, she did.
What did you tell us where we're at?
Don't forget about it, though. And Paul.
Where are they? Where at? That location. Where would we find them there?
I didn't know what to do. None of this makes sense. Why would she hear from my fucking girls? I will if you want to. I don't. Yeah. What if you and me and your dad just drove by? Could you say right there? I feel like just get out of cold. Take care of the thought.
You know, Nora, I know you came in today to do the right thing. You didn't have to come in. You came in all on your own.
So to my pet. Are they all free on it? My parents are home.
And now what?
You saw it?
After his initial confession, Chris led police to the Anadarko petroleum oil site, where he worked a remote field in Weld County, about 45 minutes from his home. Shanann's body was found buried in a shallow grave near the oil tanks. But the girls were found inside the oil tanks themselves. He had pushed his own daughter's bodies through an 8-inch hatch opening at the top of crude oil tanks. It wasn't until February 2019, months after being sentenced to 3 consecutive life terms, that Chris Watts finally told investigators what really happened that night. In his prison confession, Chris revealed the horrifying truth. After strangling Shanann in their bed sometime around 3 or 4 a.m., he loaded her body into the back of his truck. Then he put Bella and Celeste, still alive, into the back seat and drove 45 minutes to the oil site. At the site, he buried Shanann in a shallow grave. Then one by one, he smothered his daughters with a blanket. Bella, the 4-year-old, reportedly said her last words, "Daddy, no." His motive? He wanted a fresh start with Nicole Kessinger. He didn't want a divorce. He didn't want custody battles. He wanted his family to simply disappear. On November 6, 2018, Chris Watts pleaded guilty to all charges. On November 19th, he was sentenced. The Chris Watts case became one of the most closely followed murder investigations of the decade, not because of its complexity, but because of its simplicity. A man who appeared perfectly normal, his neighbors, his co-workers, his own family trusted him, planned and executed the murder of his pregnant wife and 2 daughters, all because he wanted to start a new life. What brought him down? A combination of his own arrogance, giving that TV interview, agreeing to a polygraph and one simple piece of technology, a neighbor's doorbell camera that captured the truth he tried so desperately to hide. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico Watts deserved better. If you found this analysis insightful, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next deep dive into criminal psychology and interrogation techniques. In our next video, we'll analyze another interrogation where a suspect's own words became the key evidence that put them behind bars.